Hi, guys. Thank you so much for getting on with us tonight. We have Hannah here to talk with us about her best tips for signing distributors. And I also have Amanda Sobek's tips in a text message to read for you guys. And these two are rock stars at enrolling distributors. So definitely get ready to take notes and pay close attention. Hannah, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's
Okay,
all
awesome.
you. Go ahead, girl.
Awesome. Okay, so do you want me to talk about tell a little bit about me or just get right to it?
No, sure. Say who you are, where you're from, rank, and
Okay.
then your
Yeah, so I'm Hannah and I live in Minnesota. It was like -22 today, so if anyone lives I'm ready for Florida. Let's just say that. Like conference can be here any day now. And yeah, I'm an Emerald, soon to be Diamond leader, and I started this business almost 3 years ago. And I always say this business found me, just because it really did. Like I just needed it. It came into my life at the perfect timing. And now I'm a mom, and a lot of life has happened since starting. So I'm super thankful for this business. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of tell just a few tips to sign distributors, how I go about it, and things that have helped me in the 3 years I've been doing this. I always say the biggest thing to always remember is think about what it was about the person you joined with. What was it about your enroller that really caught your attention and made you want to get started in this business? Because take that and put your own spin on it and do that, because if it worked for you, people that are like you that are watching your journey are probably going to join for the same reasons. So I think back to my enroller Tiara. I was one of those creepers who would go to her page every day. I never liked a single post. I never commented on a single post. Okay, so if you're discouraged that you're not getting comments or likes, don't, because there are people that literally will go creep on you and never like or comment, because I was one of them. Okay, so I was probably watching her for, that sounds so creepy, but you know what I mean. I was watching her journey for, I want to say, like 4 or 5 months. And finally one day, after going to my Facebook, when you go on Facebook and you click search, her name was always the first one in my most searched people. It's so creepy. But she's like one of my best friends now, so we laugh about it. But one day I just went and looked at it, and something spoke to me about her post, and I actually reached out to her and was like, okay, you got to tell me what this is all about. Like, tell me all the details. And I actually ended up sitting on it for months, or not months, for weeks. Like, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks. I sat on it. I talked to my husband about it. And it honestly just came to the point of like, what do I have to lose? And so you just have to remember that you never know who's watching your journey. And there were just things that she was posting about that connected to me. So be 100% unapologetically yourself in your posts, and put just your own personal flavor in all of them. Like, make sure you're telling your story in some different way every day in your posts, and people are going to be really, really touched by that and really inspired, just like I was with her. So I guess that would be my biggest tip, is to just make sure that you are posting consistently, because even if people aren't liking or commenting, they're definitely watching, and they're definitely coming back to see, what did she post today? Did she quit? Like, that was the other thing I was doing, was to see to make sure she didn't quit, to make sure it was legit. And so there's people out there who are unintentionally keeping you accountable. So definitely that would be my first thing. And then yeah, also just kind of back to the being yourself. I'm busy, I'm a mom, so I take the time to pre-plan my posts, and I'm all about quality over quantity. So you really want to make sure that it's it's all about you, and it's very personable. If you're brand new, it's totally fine to copy and paste and switch it up, but challenge yourself to pre-plan a few posts. Like, take the time to think about what is it, like what really is my why for why I'm doing this, and talk about that, because people are going to buy your journey and the reasons why you do this and why you need it more than they're going to buy like, you know, a post that says like, join my team. And those are fine too, but make sure you're really sprinkling in those super vulnerable, super real posts, because that's what people really connect to. So I don't know if there's like questions or if you just want me to like keep going or.
You're fine to just go.
Okay.
The one thing I was going to ask you was about how you talk to potentials, because you just talked
Oh,
about how to get them, but how
yeah.
do you talk to them?
Yeah. So I don't particularly message for distributors. Like, I won't go out and message people trying to find them unless I genuinely really think that they would be awesome at this and I see that in them and we've interacted, of course. But one thing that I make sure I do is stay super simple. Like, I when I first started would seriously word vomit, even though I was getting help with wording and all of that. Like, I still just would go do my own thing and I would just like tell them every little thing about the business. And that's really not necessary at first. So keeping it as simple as possible, and then also getting them on the phone, I've realized is really, really, like, I feel like I sign more people if I get them on the phone. And I was terrified to do that because I am not like, that scares me. I'm like, just message them. But if you just, you know, kind of take your time with it and just have like a normal conversation. Like, I always think too, like, whether you're on the phone with them or messaging, just talk to them like they're your best friend. Take all pressure off. Like, I'll throw in like little gifts or like things to like make it like fun and natural. And yeah, just be 100% yourself. And do you want like specific wording or anything like that? Because it's honestly different for everyone.
Yeah, no, just like
Yeah.
you could give an example or
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah. So I guess one thing I guess I could do as an example. So one way I do get the conversation started for potential distributors is I do a lot of stories, and I'll do polls, or I'll put like swipe up and type info or whatever you want to put. And so let's say somebody replies to a poll or does that. I'll just say, like, I make it all about them. That's the other thing. So I'll just say something simple like, hey, Rachel, thank you so much for swiping up and, or for the poll. So thank you so much for replying to my poll. I would love to tell you more about this opportunity. What was it that stuck out to you about it? Because usually the like story will have like, you know, things about why they would want to get started. And I just seriously make it all about them. So they'll say like, oh, they'll say something like, oh, I saw that it's like for extra money and, you know, I'm really struggling, I could use this. And then I'll say like, awesome, like, and I'll just kind of walk through it with them. Super simple. I'll say it's super simple to do. It's all from your phone. I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. And of course, I ask them if they're familiar with the business. And I kind of just give a short, like, brief spiel about what It Works is and what we have to offer. And I reiterate a million times over how simple it is. I never say it's easy because it's not, but I do say that it's simple, and just make sure that they like aren't intimidated by what I'm saying. Because I know for me, when I reached out to my enroller, it was like, that's how she was with me too. Just keep it simple, short and sweet. So that's kind of how I go about that.
Amazing. Do you have any other like major tips you want to give?
Um, Gosh, hang on now. There was one other thing. I should have wrote it down. Yeah, if I think of it, I'll
Yeah.
jump back on, but I'll try and remember. But I think that was it. So yeah, is that good?
Awesome. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Yeah.
I'm going to read. It's awesome because a lot of what you said is going to be reiterated in Amanda's, her best tips. Give me one second. I probably should have had her Yeah, there she is. Okay. Whew. So this is from Amanda Sobek, and she is great at consistently enrolling distributors. She says, signing distributors onto your team isn't as difficult as everyone thinks, especially with this $49 promotion going on right now. The best way to sign distributors is to connect with people. You need to be sharing the business opportunity on your page every single day. I post a lot on my story and on my page as well. You need to be relatable. Get in the habit of sharing your life and what the business is doing for you. Something as simple as it works filling your gas tank or buying your coffee. There will be someone on your timeline who reads your posts and can relate to not always having money to fill their tank or buy a coffee. You have to share your story, your why, your goals, what you're working towards. Being excited in your posts about the business goes a long way. When talking to potentials, many stop talking after giving people the information they ask for about the job. Your potential team members ask what the company is, what do they have to do, how much is it to get started. Many answer those questions and then stop messaging them because the person they're talking to simply stopped asking questions. You cannot stop there. You have to create an image in their head for a better future, financial freedom, breathing room to cover the bills they're struggling to pay. It is our job to ask the questions to get more info from them. Follow up. Ask them what their life is like currently. Are they working full time, paying most of what they make to put their kids in daycare? Are they a stay-at-home mom, a college student who needs an extra income to get through school? Show them that you care and genuinely make it about them. Ask them how an extra $500 a month would benefit them. Get them to envision this. If you can get people to start visualizing this business helping them reach their goals, you will be signing teammates like crazy. Give them the price to start last. You don't want to scare them off by mentioning the investment too soon. Always get a follow-up date for when they want to sign up. Same with loyal customers. If they cannot sign right away, continue to be their friend and engage on their posts. Chat with them between now and the date when they want to start. On the day that they want to start, simply message them and tell them how excited you are to help them get started. Do not ever go into a follow-up with fear that they'll say no or change their mind. Be confident and excited always. Being confident is so important when talking to potentials. If you are sending them any sign that you aren't consistent with your business, or that you're not excited about what you do, or that you really don't believe in yourself or make your business a priority, your potentials will find someone else to enroll with. People need someone they can count on to help them be successful. They messaged you for a reason, so don't let them down. Be the person they need to better their future. So I think that was really, really awesome and some great tips. I had one thing that I wanted to add, and Hannah, did you remember the other thing you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
First off, that was like amazing. So good. So basically what I was gonna say is kind of along with what I said about you should be telling your story in a different way every day. I think something that a lot of people get caught up on when they're first starting is like, well, I don't have a story. Talk about where you want to go though. So talk about maybe you're feeling like, but a post about getting gas in my car and getting coffee is like not that interesting and it's not going to grab attention, which is a lie because it will. Talk about where you're going to go. Like talk about your dreams and your goals because people don't do that anymore, you guys. Like people are so negative on social media. So be that positive and inspiring story that they like are excited to read about on their newsfeed. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about was like talking about where you want to go, especially as a newbie, because I know for me, I just was like, well, I don't have a story. What am I supposed to talk about? So talk about where you're going.
That's so crazy because that's literally exactly what I was going to say. Just that you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have like a huge paycheck or I don't have all this experience. Like that's not what matters. If you can share a dream, well, your dream or, something relatable that makes someone else dream, that's contagious. And your excitement about the opportunity you have and where the business can take you, that's everything. So if you have that, like you can sign a teammate. It doesn't matter if you've been in the business a day or 6 months or 5 years. Casey, I see your face now, so I'm wondering if you have something that you want to add.
You know I do. So, when I first started, and I have like 3 tips that I want to give. When I first started, how I signed my very first distributor, because I think quite a few of you are probably brand new. So you're like, how do I get my first distributor? Like, how does this even happen? I remember when I first started, I was like, there's no way anybody's going to join my team. I'm never going to have a team and not one person's going to join me. And I went to Green Carpet. And for some reason that lit a fire on it, like up in me. And I was posting so insane on my page every single day. I was like, I'm making money from my phone. I'm working at Starbucks, making money between classes. I was like posting like crazy, talking about how I was making an extra income from my phone, even though I wasn't making a whole lot just yet. I was making like $30 a month. Okay. But still, that was a tank of gas in my car. And I was talking about that. I was talking about how thankful I was that I was able to go to Starbucks and swipe my It Works card and not have to worry about it coming out of my money that I didn't even have. So like little things like that, just like Hannah said, and Amanda's tips too, just like that, it's so crucial to talk about the small things. And I remember I was sitting there and I get a message from some random person on Facebook from Chicago, Illinois, and I've never been to Chicago, okay? But this person, am I back? Okay. Did you guys hear the Chicago part? Okay. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. Anyway, so I had never been to Chicago, and this person messaged me and was like, hey, what are you doing? How are you making money from your phone? And I got in a conversation with him, and like 30 minutes later, he signed up. And I was like, I was so excited, guys. Like, I was like beyond excited. So anyway, I signed my very first distributor. Because I was excited, he saw my excitement and he was like, what are you doing? Like, how are you making money from your phone? Like, he had no idea what I was making. I wasn't even talking about the dollar amount. I was talking about how I was going to go Ruby and make an extra $500 a month. And he saw that potential and was like, what is he doing? And how is this even a possibility? And that's what got me my first distributor. Second thing is what I'm doing now. And actually, one of the girls, Caprice, is on here, who I signed doing this. It's really cool. She just joined like last week. Or no, just a couple days ago. And what happened was she messaged me for the product for Thermify X because I'd been posting consistently about that every single day. And she was like, hey, I've been seeing you post about this weight loss thing. Like, what is this? I'm curious. I went through the whole spiel, told her everything, got her to check out, got all the information to sign her up, and then literally said, not sure if you'd be interested or not, but would you be considering selling this to make some extra money? And she literally said, I've really been considering it. I would have not signed her as a distributor if I didn't even mention that. All she wanted was the product. But because I made that an option of becoming a distributor, and I said, you may not be interested in this, but, and then offered the opportunity, and she was like, heck yeah, let's do it. And then after a little bit of messaging back and forth and like telling her why she should do it and all this stuff, she signed up as a distributor. And guess what? She's working toward her $100 shopping spree to get that product for free now. So guys, offer the opportunity even to your potential customers, because you never know who's out there who's been considering doing this to make some extra income. You don't know until you ask. So that was tip number 2. I forgot tip number 3. Oh yeah. Basically just bouncing off Hannah, be yourself, be excited, literally share your story every single day. And guys, just like Rachel said, your story, even in the beginning, your story, you have a story, okay? So you just have to understand that like where you are now is not where you're going to be 6 months from now if you don't want to be. And talk about where you want to be. Literally think of your life 6 months from now with no limitations of where you want to be, and talk about that person and literally become that person now without the things you would have 6 months from now. Just become that. Think about it, envision it, and truly feel it, and envision what you feel like having those things you want 6 months from now. And I promise you guys, it comes tenfold. You just have to truly believe within yourself that it's possible, and then become that person, whether that's through personal development, reading, watching videos, getting on Zooms like this, talking to uplines, talking to people who've created the success that you want to create. that's how you envision it, and that's how you become that person. I was a diamond way before I became a diamond, okay? I was a diamond when I was an executive. I was making like $200 a month, like, I'm gonna be making $3,000 a month one day, blah, 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 blah. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I had like 2 distributors on my team. How in the heck, almost 4 years now into the business, I have over 500 people on my team? Because I saw myself where I am today 4 years ago. I saw myself going to where I am, and I see myself going further than where I am now. So you just have to create the vision and become who you want to become. Yeah. That's it.
I love it. Okay. If anybody has any questions that they want to throw in the chat real quick, just want to open that up in case anyone had any questions they wanted to ask.
I was going to say one other thing, if that's okay.
Of course, yes.
Everybody keeps spitting all this amazing stuff, and I'm like, it's like amping me up. So one other thing I wanted to say is like, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if your attitude about signing distributors is like, oh, I'm so bad at signing distributors. Oh, I just struggle so much with signing distributors. You will not sign distributors. Okay, so like speak life into your business and speak life into those people who are meant to be on your team, because they are out there. But if you continuously are feeding yourself this idea that you can't do it, you never will. So just had to add that, because that's really what changed in my business, is when I stopped that negative self-talk. That's when the people started coming to me, because I don't know what kind of weird like voodoo magic it is, but if you like believe you won't, then you won't. And if you believe you will, then you will. It just works out that way.
That's so true. And so much of changing that negative self-talk is personal development. Like, you have to be pouring into yourself. You can't not work on yourself and expect to be able to help other people work on themselves. So like, find a really great podcast that you're into, look up YouTube videos of people who are where you want to be, like learn from people who are where you want to be. Follow some of those top It Works leaders, learn from how they post, learn from what they're doing. Like, clearly it's working. And social media connects us all, so we have access to that, and we can be the best copycats, but make sure you're copying the right cat. Does anybody else have something they want to add?
So this is Shayna. So I'm going to just add to what you guys are saying. First off, I just want to say awesome job to Chris for being on her probably first Zoom within the business, maybe. So that's pretty awesome, being a weekend and already jumping on a Zoom. But the biggest thing I want to say is make sure that when you guys are talking to potentials, you're putting positive vibes out there. So for an example, if you're thinking $99, like the normal business builder kit of what it is to sign up, not the half off or even the half off, if you're thinking in your mindset that that's way too expensive and, oh my gosh, they're not going to have the money to join, those things go into your conversation. So make sure that even when you're sitting there talking to them, that you're thinking positive and you're saying positive things. So what I like to do is when I'm talking to somebody, and if I have even like an ounce of like, oh, they're not going to sign or whatever the case may be, I instantly tell myself to shut up and I just shout it from the rooftop. They're going to sign up. They're going to sign up with me. They're going to sign up today. I'm going to sign up a distributor. Like, I'm constantly like proclaiming it out loud and pushing those negative thoughts out. And even if they don't sign, I don't get hung up on that one person. I have so many people that will say, well, I have 5 potentials that were supposed to sign up today. None of them are getting back to me. I'm so bummed out. And they like halt their business there. And that's the biggest mistake that you can make, because if I were to have halted my business at the first 5 people that told me that they were interested in making extra money with this, I would not have ever went double diamond, because I would have been stuck and I would still be following up the same 5 people. But the biggest thing is to make sure you're continuously adding to that list. You're continuously talking to new people and you're proclaiming what you want. And, everyone has mentioned personal development, but I feel like that just needs to be like reiterated to a T, because like other people have said, there's so much negativity and there's so many things that can bring you down in your own head and the outside world. So just make sure that you're constantly filling your cup up. and be okay with making mistakes when you're talking to people. And if you, when I first started, I word vomited the crap out of my messages. But the more I did it and the more trainings I got on and the more I got comfortable with what I was talking about, getting to events and being comfortable with what I was talking about and being confident in the business and where I was going and touching my own vision, it really helps you to talk naturally instead of scripted. By all means, it's okay to talk scripted until you find your own groove, but just make sure that you're not, don't be afraid to talk to people. It's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to say the wrong things. We've all been in those situations. It's going to happen, but that's how you learn. So don't be afraid to fail, I guess is the gist of that. So an awesome job, Hannah, and I loved all the tips that Amanda gave you, Rachel. And Casey, you rock.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat. So, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I did. So I'm the new distributor that Casey was talking about. A struggle that I noticed the last time that I was like watching this company really closely. I don't have that many friends on social media, but I do have my profile as public, so anybody can like look me up and see it if I do post something that somebody else shares. But what do you really do if you don't have a lot of friends on Facebook or whatever?
Okay, so sorry, you can
No,
go first
take
if you
it.
want.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So one big thing, I'm pretty sure Casey signed you up, right? I'm sure he's already gone over like growing your network with you, but one thing that I've been doing to grow my network on Facebook that has been seriously like crazy. I get so many people accepting my friend request back, more than ever, is what I'll do. And it sounds creepy. And at first when I heard somebody suggest this, I was like, I'm not going to do that because these people are going to be in my inbox asking if I know them or if they know me. And it hasn't happened. So what I do is when you're scrolling on your newsfeed, you're going to come across like sponsored ads. And those ads are geared towards you based on things that I don't know how Facebook knows. It's creepy. There's like theories that they listen to your conversations and stuff, but I don't know about all that. But basically these ads are geared to you and your interests and things like that. And what you can do is go to the likes and the comments and add people in there. And I just glance at the profile picture. I'm looking for women who look similar to me. If they're holding a child in the picture, that means that they're probably a mom and they can probably relate to me. So I'm trying to think of like, just like at a quick glance, do they look like somebody that I could be friends with? And if they do, then I add them as a friend. And so I've been doing that, and I've been having like I'll maybe add 25 to 30 people a day doing that, and I'll get like 10 people that accept my request. And so then really how I like try and like cultivate a relationship right off the bat with them is in your messenger app, it'll say like your new friend. It like pops up as a new friend in there. I don't message them right away, but I use that as my like new friends list, and I'll go to their page and I'll like a few things, I'll comment on something, and that's going to make them be like, who is this person? And they're going to come check out your Facebook and see your journey and see your story and like want to connect with you. So that's how I'm currently doing it this past week, and it seriously is going so well. And I actually already had somebody from that. I had somebody message me asking about a product I posted about. So that's something I'm trying, and it's working really well.
Yeah, I love that. And another thing, and Caprice, you and I are going to work on this real soon. It's host to post. But basically, it's having your current network post statuses for you. And the really cool thing is their network's going to comment on those statuses, and you're going to add all those people. So eventually, you're going to have all these brand new friends because you're just adding people who are interested in your product and in your business. So that's really how I've grown my network over the last probably 3 or 4 months, so much faster. But you and I will work on that. But yeah, host to post is a really good way too. But Hannah's way is like the main way of growing your network, just by adding people and connecting and building the relationships and getting in there and like becoming friends with people on social media. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that.
Yeah, you guys basically covered it. I was just going to say, like, branch out, like go to your current friends, their most recent profile picture, or if it's Instagram, the most recent picture they posted, I'll go and just follow or friend the women over the age of 18 who liked that picture. Or if it's a friend of mine who has their friends public, you can go in there and just like add people with multiple like common friends, mutual friends, so that like my role's like four, like you're not going to message four different people and ask like, hey, who is this girl? So if they have like four mutual friends, I'm like, safe to add, yes. But Instagram's way more casual. You can just follow everybody. It's a free for all. So yeah, just like, and you just spider web out. That's how I've done it. I went from 300 followers to over 20,000. So like, and literally just by branching out like that, and it's completely possible. So that's huge for signing distributors too. If you don't have new people seeing your posts every day, you're not going to have new potentials or new people who are interested. And that's like so big on having your business thriving and just growing like we all want it to. Does anybody else have any questions, or should I wrap it up for tonight?
I have a question.
Okay.
So I'm a new distributor. I've been in the company for 3 weeks now, and I'm also having trouble signing distributors. I've had a couple of people who are interested, and when I went through the whole script with them, they seemed like they wanted to join and stuff like that. But then when I got to the price it was to sign up, they all said, oh, it's a little too expensive, or I don't have that much time right now. I'm a college student. And I try and combat it by saying that I'm a graduate student too, but I'm still here working and I'm making money, even though I don't know if I'm making money yet. But like, I try and be that positive with them, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So my conversations are just left unread. So like, I know they've seen my post or like my response back to them, but like, I don't know if I should double message them and be like, so what were you gonna do? Like, I just don't know how to go from there.
Right. Well, for me, one thing I want to encourage you with is at first when you're messaging people, like you're in a phase of planting seeds. Not everybody is going to like right away be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to join. Sometimes, like I swear to you, it's going to be 4 years in a couple of days that I've been in this business. Like I'll have people that I messaged 3 years ago, like unghost themselves into my life, but they wouldn't have messaged me if I hadn't messaged them all that time ago. And it's frustrating in the right now, but I promise you, like some of those conversations that go dead, like they're still watching you. So make sure you're still posting consistently. Make sure you're still going to their page. Like make it a point to like go to their page and like stuff and interact and comment, so that you're kind of still on their radar. And a lot of those people will come back around. But just like be proud of yourself that you're talking to people and keep talking to people. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And you're going to find people who say yes right away, people who need to think on it for a while, people who ghost for 3 years and then come back. But, it's going to just keep doing what you're doing. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, I want to add to that.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, cool. So look at us, diamonds and above, coming in hot. So, but we've all been there. Seriously, like when I first started, I felt the same way. I was like talking to people every single day, and I was like, why does nobody want this opportunity? Like, I know I'm making money, even if it was like $30 a month. I know I'm making an extra income right now. Like, why doesn't anybody want this little bit of income? Like, I couldn't understand that. So basically what I had to understand is that people are fearful of doing something like this. I wasn't really fearful, but I'm not a fearful, well, I am very scared of certain things, but not stuff like this. I'm not really fearful of like, I wasn't really scared of losing $100. I blow $100 left and right on stupid stuff anyway. So I really didn't care about that. And just to back up what Shayna was saying earlier, if you're scared of talking about the $99 investment, understand that there's a few of us on here that literally signed up tons and tons of distributors before they ever even discounted the kits from $99, okay? So if you joined in 2018 until now, you probably don't even know the $99 starter kit because that was like all we knew. So anyway, it's possible. But assuming the fear of people is really, really helpful. Like asking them, say, hey, what are you scared of? Like, are you just scared of, the investment? Is the investment the only thing holding you back? So like the people that left you on red, maybe go back and say that. Say, is that investment the only thing holding you back from doing this? And they're going to say, yeah. And then say, okay, well, how would it feel if you were getting an extra $500 deposited into your account every single month? Like, how would that truly feel? And then you're going to connect on an emotional level with them. They're going to tell you that's going to feel amazing. Oh my God, that would pay my car payment. Okay, well then why are you letting that little investment stop you from doing that every single month? I will be there to help you every step of the way. Then they may not do it immediately, but you're creating that emotion with them, and they're going to think about that. Okay, you know, this girl is going to help me make an extra $500 a month. They're going to think about it every single time they see your post. They're going to be like, oh, that would be amazing to get that $500 every single month. Like, oh my God, she told me that. I really wonder if it's going to be true. They're going to see your post again and be like, you know what? Let's do this. That's how you create that connection. So honestly, like, we get ignored all the time. Everybody. I don't care if we're distributor or up to ambassador, people get ignored 24/7. So if you're being ignored, you're doing something right because you're in conversations with people. So the only way to get back into that is truly just saying, what's holding you back? Is it the investment? Are you scared you don't have enough time? Are you scared you're not going to make money? Are you scared, you know, people are going to make fun of you? Like, what is your fear? And then once you figure out the fear, get with your upline, get with somebody that's been in the business a little bit longer and say, hey, what would you say to this person? And we'll help you walk through that conversation. Like, trust me, we've all dealt with it. If we've been in for longer than 6 months, you've probably dealt with a lot of stuff from people and like a lot of people ignoring you. So trust me, it's normal.
So I was just going to say, Rachel and Casey both gave awesome tips and awesome job. I would totally say your name, but I don't want to butcher it because I'm horrible at names and I hate when people butcher my name. So I'm not even, but awesome for being on the Zoom. First off, I think that is so important when you first join this business to jump into like learning and growing, because the only way you're going to go up in this business is if you're filling your cup and if you're knowledgeable about what you're doing. So I just want to give you props for that first off. But what I like to do when people, like Casey gave good points about like if it's the financial part of it that you're scared of, what I like to ask people is I basically when they say, oh, I don't have the $99, I'll just say, well, I have a couple, nobody joins this business because they have money. They join this business to make money. Are you interested in learning how other people have made it possible to join? I have the script in my phone, but basically I'm giving them, and they're going to say, yeah, what are those tips? But basically I just give them the idea of, I've had people join charging their credit card. I've had people borrow money. I've had people sell things so they can join the business with things around their house they're not using. Like I give them ideas of different ways that they can come up with the money. And then I also go over pre-reserving or pre-selling the wraps in their starter kit. I haven't really had a ton of people success with that, but I always throw it out there because the wraps that come in your starter kit, people can say, hey, you know, do you want to try a wrap for me? It's $25. When you get your kits, you can give them the wrap, that type of thing. But if other ways of doing it is, you know, selling things around your house, I mean, come on, like we can all go to Target or Walmart and blow $99 or $49. Like when there's a will, there's a way. So you just need to give them options and just remember that if they're not willing to make it work for themselves, they probably wouldn't do good in the business or do good things with their business if they're not even willing to spend the money to join your team. So just remember that and just don't get hung up. Like keep pushing forward, and the people that join your team are probably going to be people you've never met before. So don't get hung up on the people that you're friends with right now, because the majority of the people on my team I did not know before this business. So keep that in mind too, that your next best friend is going to be because of it works, and just know that this business and social media can give you endless amounts of opportunity. Okay, Olivia is upset at me now, so that's where I'm going to end it.
Does anybody else have a question?
I have a question. I just want to ask, so I've been in the business for a few weeks now, and some people come to me, and when they're interested, they ask like in a summary like what It Works is, like what we sell. So is there like a simple way of like advertising like what we like, what I know what products we sell, but like is there a simpler way other than like, you know, going into detail about every single thing? Like like how do I approach like what I, so people know that, like, I mean, I guess some people misunderstand how like that it's an online business, so it's like you get like we sell a range of products, so I don't know how to exactly approach like what, you know, It Works is. Like if we're like, I know we sell like, you know, like shakes and we have different products, and wraps, but is there a simpler way of approaching that?
Yeah, Shayna just sent a script
Mhm.
into the chat for you, so make sure you copy that. It's
Okay.
I'm an independent rep for It Works Global. It's an amazing line of natural GMO-free
Mhm.
products, all aimed towards overall health and wellness. What I
Okay.
do, yeah. So just like that's a really hold on. I'm gonna mute everybody because we have some. That's a really good script, and Casey just sent another one. So Maya, make sure you copy those into your notes for sure.
Yeah, I noticed that me and Shayna's are very similar. But yeah, copy those in, like, for real. And you guys don't have to word for word what we say. Take those
Mhm.
three and, like, glue what your favorite parts are. Like, add yourself into that, because they can tell when it's scripted. I had a girl the other day, and I was in the middle of messaging like 40 people about TFX, and I was copy and pasting. And she said, "Is this a robot?" It's because I copied and pasted and sent it too quick. And she was like, "Is this a robot?" And I had to send a voice message, and I was like, "No, I'm not a robot." But seriously, people will tell. So be you.
So I just want to give a tip on notes, because you're going to have so many different potential distributors, potential customers. And so what I have is in my notes, I have folders. So I have a folder that says PDT. So I literally, as you were talking, I went and grabbed my PDT, put it in there. And then also Hannah gave me an awesome tip of text replacement. And so that is like gold. Like, I'm so obsessed with it. But basically what it is you can put that script that I just put in. What I have it in, and this is for iPhone. So if you don't have an iPhone, I'm sorry, I'm not educated beyond iPhone. So if you have text replacement, you can just go into your text replacement, put a short thing that you're going to remember. So I literally have IMA, so it stands for IMA. And then that's my text replacement for describing what I do. So when somebody asks me what it is, I'll ask them, "Are you familiar with network marketing?" They'll say no, and I'll say, "Oh, that's okay, totally fine." And then I just say, and then my whole script that I say. It's so simple. And then when they say, "Yeah, that sounds interesting," that's the script that I send after that. So I literally am just copying and pasting from my notes to make it super easy, so that way you don't have to overcomplicate it.
I think that's good. Oop, I just muted myself for no reason. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, I want to say thank you to everybody for getting on tonight. Thank you, Hannah, Casey, and Shayna, for your awesome tips. And this was recorded, so if you guys need to go back and watch it again or share it with anybody else on your team, we'll make sure we get that uploaded for you. And thank you guys, and I hope you have a really awesome weekend. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.